Finally, they made the announcement for the low income. I have all the details and what you need to know right here in the video, so let's get right into it. Alright, the long-awaited announcement has finally been released, which will be impactful in a good way for the low income. So in this video, I want to discuss all the details and what was just announced that'll be impactful for the low income and, of course, fixed income beneficiaries. So we have a lot to talk about. Let's get into it and discuss all those details. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video, as I'm here for you each and every day as your one and only daily advocate, doing all the research and breaking it all down into these short videos, as it's a very busy time right now. We're getting new announcements literally every single day. There's a lot going on when it comes down to money, benefits, new bills, piece of legislation, reform to these very important programs as well, checks, stimulus, and all these other programs that continue to pop up, as well as all these new bills that continue to come out of Congress and all these ideas that they're floating right now. So again, anytime that something comes up that we can take advantage of course, I want to keep you posted with what is actually happening right now during this very busy time. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and I'll continue to be here for you right by your side every single day, as that's my commitment, and of course, as always, I'm sticking to it. So thanks again, subscribe down below, and let's get into it and discuss what is this announcement and how is this going to be impactful for the low income and fixed income beneficiaries. Now, this is actually an announcement we've been waiting for a very long time, and it was finally announced late yesterday. They literally waited until the very last minute to come out with this thing and announce it. Am I surprised? No, I'm not that surprised, simply because this is usually what they do. They usually draw these things down until the very last minute, right before something is going to expire, and then they come out and say, hey, just kidding, here's the announcement. And that's exactly what they did yesterday. So I want to talk you through the details about this, because this is actually a very important announcement, and it's going to impact millions upon millions of low-income beneficiaries. So I want to tell you all the details about this. Here's what it comes down to. It's all hinging around the Public Health Emergency Declaration. Now, this was announced yesterday once again. Now, let me put this into perspective really quickly here. The Public Health Emergency Declaration has been in place since January of 2020. So we're going on 2.5 years, over 2.5 years that this has been put in place. Well, it was extended a few months ago out until the end of the day yesterday. So it was technically supposed to expire at the end of the day last night. So like midnight last night, it was supposed to expire. Well, they came out yesterday afternoon and they announced, oh, they're going to extend it out once again for another 90 days out through October 13th. So this is the new expiration. However, I'm going to go out on a limb right here, right now. I'm going to throw this out there right now. They're going to extend it again. I can almost guarantee it. Of course, I have no clue what the future is going to hold, but considering it's only like 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks away from the midterm elections, I could almost be certain as of right now, they will extend it out once again in mid-October. But again, we won't know that until the time comes. But as of right now, they're going to be extending it out again, starting today, because today is technically the day that it was supposed to be expired. You know, late last night at midnight, it was supposed to be expired. So today would be day number 1, 90 days out, and they're going to run it through the end of the day, October 13th. Now, why do we care about this? So I want to tell you the details about that, which, quick side note, by the way, the Secretary of the Health and Human Services came out and announced this. So one of the people in the administration came out and announced this. So that's why it was official by this person. But anyway, so why do we care about this? There's a few different reasons why we care about this. Number one, COVID is spreading quite a bit around the country right now. So there's this new variant of COVID. I mean, seriously, what are we on now? Like variant number 27? I mean, seriously, what are we on? But it's now the Omicron BA.5. So whatever that means to all of us, you know what I mean? But apparently this is the most contagious one so far that has come out, transmissible. Sorry, that's the word I was looking for. Apparently this is the most transmissible version of this variant so far that has come out, and apparently cases have been ticking up all across the country. Now, why do we care about all this? Well, remember, I want to throw this out there as well. What actually caused all of the major issues that we had way back in early 2020, in March, January, April, times like this? What happened then? Everything was closed down because of COVID. Now, I want to make it very clear. I am not suggesting that we're going to go into another lockdown. I'm not saying that at all. In fact, I do not think that's going to happen. But I want to tell you that this is this is the virus that caused all of the major problems that we saw, 2.5 years ago in early 2020. This is also what caused the stimulus checks as well. So again, This variant is now spreading around. It's the most transmissible variant of them all, apparently, so far, and cases are ticking up all across the country. In fact, there's many areas all around the country right now that are actually on the verge of implementing mask mandates once again. Seriously, this is a real thing across many different places. I've been reading this for about a week now, maybe even a little bit longer, that like Los Angeles County, for example, is basically on the verge of implementing a mask mandate once again. There's many places all around the country. That's just one example of Los Angeles County. So anyway, it's happening all across the country where many places are saying, hey, we're pretty much on the verge of re-implementing mask mandates. Ooh, yeah, I don't know about that, right? I think, especially now with the hot weather, give us a couple more months, please. You know what I mean? So in the winter, it's not all that bad because it keeps the face nice and warm. But other than that, kind of hard to breathe. You know what I mean? So anyway, of course, I don't want to take sides with this. I'm just simply saying, let's hope we don't have to go back to that again. But, we also want everybody to stay safe at the same time. But what does this extension of the Public Health Emergency Declaration actually mean for the low income? So I apologize. I digress for just a second there, but let me tell you all the details behind this. So for those of you that are located in the roughly 22 states right now that are still sending out the extra allotment for your SNAP benefits, Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, otherwise known as food stamps, you're probably getting that extra allotment. Right now, there's about 22 states that are sending that out. Well, as a result of the extension of the Public Health Emergency Declaration for another 90 days, that means that these states still have the privileges to do that. If this were allowed to expire, that would no longer be allowed. It would no longer be allowed for the states to send out that extra allotment. So, number one, that's impacting a lot of people right now, right? So millions and millions of people. There's another big reason here. Actually, there's like 12 different reasons why this is actually a pretty good thing that it's still in place, especially for the low income. But another main reason why, too, is that anybody across the country who has basically been applying for Medicaid services has pretty much just been accepted. But once the Public Health Emergency Declaration does expire, they'll need to go through their roles and they'll need to start purging people off of Medicaid. Guess what? This is about 15 million people that would be removed almost immediately from Medicaid. That'd be scary, right? You'd be immediately removed because what they would do is they're going to go through their files. They have to do this, by the way, and they would need to purge a bunch of people who may not technically be eligible, but since the Public Health Emergency Declaration is in place, they have special privileges and allowing virtually anybody that applies to start getting services. So that's what I wanted to point out. That's a big one, which, by the way, that is for Medicaid, not Medicare. Big difference. Medicaid and Medicare are two very different programs. So I just want to make that very clear there. Medicaid, not Medicare, okay? So there's a few other things as well, including, vaccinations and all kinds of at-home tests for COVID tests, all kinds of stuff like that, which, by the way, you can still order those on the government website if you want to. Again, I'm not taking sides here with the whole COVID thing. I know it's a very controversial topic. I'm just trying to give you information here to help you out during this time, but you can go to covidtests.gov and you can still order tests right there. And one quick side note, if you happen to be blind or visually impaired, they also have special tests on there for blind people. So that's pretty cool as well. I have not ordered some for myself yet, but I thought it'd be pretty cool to order some just to try it out because I thought that's kind of cool. There's not that many cool things out there for the blind people. So I like that. It's a pretty cool thing because obviously you know that I'm in that camp. So anyway, thought it would be really cool to order one of those. But anyway, you can check those out as well. So now they've extended that out another 90 days out until mid-October. So this is a good thing. Another thing too is in the event that all of a sudden COVID cases tick up dramatically, this allows them to basically come out and implement a bunch of things very rapidly as well. It basically just gives them another excuse to basically say hey, COVID's raging through the country right now, and we have all these extra special privileges. So it kind of gives a lot of extra privileges right now. So it's a good thing that it's still in place. But as soon as it expires, and again, it will expire someday. When? I don't really know, but I would anticipate it's going to be extended out once again from that October 13th expiration. That's just my assumption right now because, again, my opinion, I've been throwing this stuff out there for a little while now. I don't think they're going to let anything expire prior to the midterm elections. Basically, between now and the midterm elections, I would anticipate virtually nothing will be allowed to expire. Even the federal student loan repayments to start on September 1st, no way. That's not happening either. I would almost bet money on that one. It's not going to happen just because there's no way they're going to make 43 million people start paying on their federal student loans 2 months before the midterm elections. Not a chance, right? So if you have federal student loans, you're probably going to get another extension on that one as well. So again, just throwing that out there, some of my predictions. But anyway, hope you're doing well, and this is the announcement. It's a good one. That's a good thing. And again, who knows? If these COVID cases continue to tick up, maybe they'll start implementing some more things because the public health emergency declaration is still in place, including like those extra allotment benefits for SNAP beneficiaries across more states, as maybe these states start implementing the health emergencies as well. So again, it's anybody's guess at this point, right? So anyway, this is the big announcement. They came out and announced it yesterday, just hours before the official expiration. Again, not surprised. They do it every time. So anyway, as I do get more details on anything right now, of course, I'll be here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet. Share the video with your friends, family, social media, and of course, go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos here on the channel. I'm here for you in any way that I possibly can be. Please remember that. I know it's a tough time right now, but I want to help you out in any way that I can. All right, until next time, make sure to go back and check out some of those other videos, and have a good one. I'll catch you again later in the next video, and thanks again so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. And